Hi everyone, I'm Lovely, and today we're going to listen to Torchwood Among Us, Episode 7, Cuckoo by Tim Foley. Did I say that right? Is it Cuckoo? Anyway, I am very excited. I haven't listened to it yet. I think everybody knows how I do this. Let's just get into the predictions and thoughts. This is the Yonto one. Um, goddamn, Yonto, I love his monthly range stories so much, and I'm so glad that he's finally. I'm not gonna use the word finally because I didn't expect this at all, but that he's gonna come back in a main story. That is so fantastic, and I can't wait. So I should say this disclaimer. I'm pretty sure it won't matter in the slightest. I'm kind of jumping right into this, if you don't mind. I have a lot of thoughts on this. Kind of like how like Eve Miles is on the cover of this, what is it, part one. Yonto Jones is on the cover of this one. I'm gonna be real, I don't think they're gonna do much. Yes, they're gonna have a single story, but I really don't think the story is going to matter much. Doesn't mean I'm not excited for it, doesn't mean I'm not gonna love it. I just don't think it's gonna matter in the grand scheme of things. But am I excited? Yes. But no, before we go into it, I meant to say this last time, but this series feels so different, and I hope this kind of makes sense. But everybody is so split off. It kind of feels like, yes, it is Monster of the Week, but it's kind of like each episode. It kind of feels like a monthly range episode with how limited it is in terms of cast. And I'm not against it. I just wanted to comment on that. It feels very, very different. And I kind of, it's refreshing, but it really doesn't feel like some of these episodes will matter. But I think that's always the case with Monster of the Week stuff. But do I still like it? Yes. But yeah, those are my general thoughts. What do I think's gonna happen? We have Billis Manger. Rest in peace, the actor. By the way, they passed away. I think a few months ago. It was very recent. But yeah, so what are my thoughts? I didn't even read the description. I'm going kind of fast here. Sorry, but. Cuckoo by Tim Foley. A group of urban explorers break into the Torchwood hub. They disturb Billis Manger, who has his own plans for the evening. Okay. So if you've listened to the reviews, I've talked about how I I don't really like Billis Manger because I don't know what his deal is, but I'm going to try to summarize it in a way so that I can understand it and be okay with it. He doesn't like bother me, like, let's say that, but if I need to summarize it, in Series 5, he's kind of just doing his own thing. He has his own stuff. And then all the cervix, something like that, whatever the aliens are, they bothered him. They came into the hotel, they messed with his business or whatever. Just they messed with him in general, and he just wanted them out. So what does he want to do now? I wonder if it's interesting. I believe this is also his last story, so I hope it wraps up. I don't know if it was intentionally his last or anything like that. I don't really want to theorize on that because it feels a little weird. But yeah, what do I think is gonna happen with Yonto? I don't know. Hmm. I hope I hope we get to see Yonto. By the way, he's not coming back to life in any way. I'll say that now. But I don't know if it'll be like a recording or something like that. Something ghost like. I'm using ghost in the like most vague sense that I can. But I hope that we get to hear his thoughts on the stuff that has happened since he has died. But yeah, I'm excited. Let's get into it. I'll talk to you in a bit. Okay, hi. I just listened to the episode. We are going to be in for a long review this time around. I didn't like how short my reviews have been because I don't think I say much, that kind of thing. But if you look at my Series 6 review, it is the longest one I have, and that is because I re-listened to the whole thing, but I took notes for each episode. So for this one, I took notes. So yeah, I am really into this episode. I'm really into it. this is this might be one of my favorites, at least as a concept. I actually just like really enjoyed it. The alternate reality Torchwood team. Billis is really good. Just goddamn. Well, one, I'm gonna start with my notes, and then I guess I'll just go into my thoughts. But yeah, so one, they mentioned Cardiff Unknown and Scrape Chain. I love that. There's a lot of references to other stuff in this episode, but no, I'm a big fan of those episodes. Cardiff Unknown is a concept that I wish they did a lot more with, but I understand why they did it. It makes me sad that their ending is that one of them dies and the other one goes crazy. It's very much like a horror movie kind of ending, you know, like Chucky or like Child's Play 1, I mean, that kind of thing, where it's like, we did it, but if we tell anybody the truth, we're crazy. And she's just crazy, unfortunately. They mentioned that I think his name is VJ? Is that right? Their name is VJ? They had a boyfriend named Damien, and it doesn't mean anything, but I think Tyler had a dude named Damien that he couldn't get over. We never really got the backstory of Tyler's thing. Thinking about it, I don't know if we really need to, but I guess that's something they could dive into. But I just wanted to mention that because I don't know, maybe there's something there. I have not watched Blair Witch, but tell me this episode isn't very similar to Blair Witch, where it's the girl with the unreliable two guys. And there's a fucking map involved. Hey, can I have the map? And she didn't get the map. Tell me that's not a lot like Blair Witch. I haven't seen it. I've watched videos on it. Is that not similar? I had a Blair Witch vibe to it. I already said it before, but Billis is great. He is so good this episode. Rest in peace. Rest in peace to the actor. I believe Murray Melvin. Did I say that right? Billis was really good this episode, and I love that we got a lot of the story on him this time around. Now I know his motivations, all that kind of stuff. I'll get into it because I want to go in my notes, but I'll get into that part because goddamn, he's so good. Torchwood is bad for everyone. I wrote that down. It is very true. Fuck, is it? It's really true. It's so sad. So I had a couple thoughts here that I've been feeling this whole series, series 7. Is this series 7? Yes, this is. That I feel like we're a bit thin on the plots at the moment because we get a single thing, and then that's kind of it. But I feel like that's not the best way to describe it, and I'm gonna be real. I don't even see it as a bad thing. Like I don't have any real complaints. I'm loving this season. I'm loving the series so far, and I want more of it. But I was having the feeling that because we're watching 3 people we do not know, I believe it's 3, we're following them in the Torchwood hub, and the cover of this episode is Billis and Hologram Yanto. What did they call Hologram Yanto? Hollow Jones? Something like that? Either way. And it's like we're focusing on these people for a while, and I don't know, I kind of had the feeling that, or not the feeling, but the thought that there really isn't a lot to work with Torchwood-wise right now. But I also kind of disagree with that. I have a lot more to say on that, but as the episode went on, though, I really fucked with this plot. I really liked this team. I kind of like this, like, kind of miniature Torchwood team. And I don't know if we'll ever see them again, like if there's a special release or something like that, but I really like them, and I really like the story. So, even though I did mention it's like, the plot feels a little thin in what we're able to do, I do want to apologize because I don't think that is the case. But I know that was something that was going through my head. So yeah, the main character made me miss Norn a little bit. Just the way he talked and stuff. Especially by the end, I was like, he's not Norn, but I miss Norn. I like when Hollow Jones is reading, or is it Hollow Yanto? Either or. But I like when he's reading the description of VJ. It's like, you once dyed your hair blue, not your best look. It's just funny stuff like that. It's just funny. And then he joined Torchwood. I think I wrote this in caps. Rest in peace as soon as he joined Torchwood. Like, immediately. You're just a random joining Torchwood. You're done. You're done. You're just done. I'm sorry. So this was a question that... This isn't a plot hole, but it was interesting to me. That the hologram didn't want to let anybody take anything from the Torchwood hub. Like, none of the things. Like, no, this is, we're keeping this in here. And even though it is very different, it made me think about how Angelo stole some of the stuff in Miracle Day. And let's say there is a hologram around that time, right? Do you see what I'm saying? If there is a hologram around that time, that it wouldn't have let anybody take anything, though the circumstances are very, 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 very different. Because if you remember Angelo, from my memory, I could be remembering wrong, but they had his team or whatever take stuff from the debris. Now, the debris could be on the outside, I don't know, but it did make me think of that a little bit. Again, not a plot hole, I just thought about that. Weevils. I think we already knew the Weevils were down there, but it's nice whenever they pop up again. it's a nice little nod to like old Torchwood, that kind of stuff. And I've always liked the little, I guess, retcon they did with the Bad Penny, because in the show they're from another world, they're alien. But then we learned that they weren't aliens; they were just people who got turned into Weevils because of the Bad Penny, which technically you could argue does make them alien, in a way, you know. But I've always liked that we get an occasional reference to Weevils. Billis mentioned that God arrived. That was nice. I have a feeling we're going to see God again at some point. Just a little thing. I don't think they have any powers anymore, but I wouldn't mind that. I wrote down, sad she died. Now, I don't know who or what I'm talking about. I'm sad that she died. I have no idea. I have no idea what that's about. Maybe I'll remember. I don't know. I wrote down the shard drive. That's not super important. The Gelth invasion. Fantastic. So I had a friend of mine watch Torchwood and all of the audios before he did Doctor Who. Let me tell you, when we did Doctor Who, there are references to Torchwood, Captain Jack, just everything. And it's so funny, like how you see the face of Bo, you see Tosh. By the way, we always talk about Gray potentially being blown up when the Torchwood hub blew up at the in Series 3. Was Tosh in the hub? Did she fucking blow up too? That makes me more sad. I've never thought about that ever. Maybe Yonto. I don't know if we have Yonto's body, but either way, he's gone. I love Billis's motivations, by the way. I've always needed that, and I'm so glad. Maybe everybody else knew. Maybe everyone else had a good understanding of it. But I really didn't. Billis's motivations, why he doesn't like Torchwood, and he fucking hates, did I say likes Torchwood? He hates Torchwood. But he hates them because of how much they mess with time in some kind of way. And I really like that. For real, it's fascinating they brought somebody back to life. Twice, by the way. It's so good. Miracle Day, just like Torchwood has such an effect and it bothers him so much. And I think that is a fantastic motivation, and I'm so glad to finally not to say I didn't like Billis before, but I'm glad I understand him. And I think this is the best he's ever been. At least for me. I haven't checked out any of the monthly ranges, but for me, this was a very good episode for Billis. 3 bisexuals and a hologram. What a funny ass line, and that's very Torchwood. Very Torchwood. God damn, and I just they do a little vision of hey, this is the potential of what this could be. These 3 people could be. And it's a Torchwood team. And just an alternate reality, which from the outro we know that is the case. There is a different reality there with this Torchwood team. And it's so interesting that they did that. It really is. I'm really sad it didn't happen. This really makes you think about Torchwood in a big scale and what it means, and it's kind of sad to think about. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that part. One, I love Torchwood. Again, I love being a Torchwood fan. This is fantastic. I wrote down, I have no idea what this means. Draining camera really good. Oh yeah. No, they talked about how the dude kept filming throughout the thing, and it makes sense that the camera has no battery. Goddamn. I was a big fan of that aspect. It was something I was like paying attention to. It's like she said stop filming, why is he filming? And that's because he just wants to do this. I can relate a lot to wanting to create content and that kind of stuff for almost like no reason. For like I'm gonna make these videos, I'm gonna put all this time into it. They're not gonna really be watched by anyone, but do I enjoy doing it? Yes. Do I want to do everything I can for it? Yes. So I can relate to this guy a little bit, and it's very understandable. I really liked it. Something else I liked, the Cuckoo story. Am I saying that right? It's like it's kind of like you wandered a bit too far. Like stay in your lane. God damn. The Hollow Jones mentioning that they chose Yanto's face because it was the most honest, and I think that's a very good description. I didn't realize how much that would fuck me up hearing that, because I have seen Children of Earth like 10 or so times. Yes, Yanto's death affects me still, but also it's been years. It's been years. I've experienced it. It's just a thing. But maybe it isn't. It fucked me up a little bit. It fucked me up. I love the choice that Billis gave, like just to show what Torchwood is. It's like this thing is gonna explode. It's gonna be you or the future of the human race. I'm sorry, Torchwood is going to tell you to do the future, and I love that this VJ, he wants to be this like person. He wants to save everything, and then he gets the choice. The decision is right here. If you don't save Torchwood, you won't be anything, and he wants to be a hero. And he makes that choice. I'm very proud of him. He's like, okay, I'll take it in. I'll do it. And then Billis, being a fantastic antagonist, is like, I was just joking. This is just gonna fucking kill you. It's actually gonna take out both. We don't even have the shard drive anymore. The thing that would save us from the next thing we're about to face. Which is very... This is badass. It's such a good story. And I gotta say, I think we lost a hologram this episode. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna be real with you guys. I really feel like this might be the end of Torchwood. Does it? And I guess I'm gonna factor in behind the scenes stuff, but I really feel like it's coming to an end. And I don't want to say that I'm against it, because I am against it. But I think I'd understand. I think at this point, I've always wanted to come back. I want it to continue as long as it can, but things end, and I know part of Torchwood's identity is that it doesn't end. It will always keep fighting, especially if you look in the story. The Torchwood Archives puts it together well. Like, you can do anything you want to Torchwood, but it will always come back. But I really feel like we're getting near the end. I don't know, and maybe this is just 'cause I don't know how much people buy these or listen to these. I've always felt alone on the audio dramas, and I've seen people talk about them. But let's say this: how many people got this one? Was it in the hundreds? Was it in the thousands? I do not know. I don't think it's a lot. And I think with all the behind-the-scenes stuff, I really don't know if we're getting another series of Torchwood after this. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Is this the last part that Scott Hancock works on? I remember I saw a tweet about that. I think I never looked into it. Maybe I'm going crazy, but it's like I don't know if John Barrowman's ever coming back. Which I'll say this: if I'm talking strictly story-wise, character-wise, and everything, I could be okay with that. I don't think it's taking away anything. That's, again, just speaking strictly story-wise. But it's like, if we keep losing more, like, if Scott Hancock's not working on this, I can't remember. Here's the thing. Heard his name forever. One of the best in my eyes. I love that. When I think of people who have kept Torchwood here, it's Scott Hancock is one of the names. It's like, I don't want to keep losing people working on this thing, because again, I really do feel like this is coming to an end. I don't know. I feel like we're getting near the end of it, and I don't know any information. I don't know anything I don't know anything with Scott Hancock. I do not know stuff, but I really just have a feeling it's coming to an end. So yeah, kind of a depressing thought. um, I hope they keep making it. I think the monthly range will keep going on, but as for the story continues, I think this is going to be the last one for a while, or the last one just, you know, before the next time they bring it back. I don't know. But yeah, overall, I'm looking at. I have a few more notes, but I don't think one of these, all the stuff I just said, that really does feel like the end of the review, if that makes sense. But no, it's a sad thought. I hope things go well. Other notes, I'll quickly go through it. They make fun of Torchwood just a little bit. All the hexagons, this place is insane. There's no, in the interviews they talked about, poking fun is more accurate. They talk about all the safety issues, all this kind of stuff, and it's like, I've always loved when they do that in Torchwood. There's a lot of that in Series 5, there's a lot of that in the monthly range, I believe. It's really good writing, I'm all about it. Downside of this episode, I wish the outro music would have been just the normal outro music. It's very rare when they do it. I know they do it in a monthly range. They do it in episode 7, whichever one that has the Queen in it and Jack, and they do it in a Yonto one. That's all weird. I think it's either Yonto or Tosh. I can't remember right now, but it's all weird. And I would have preferred if it was just normal here. So yeah, I enjoyed this episode. I loved it. Thank you for listening to a lot of this. I hope the longer reviews are liked more. I hope it's good. I kind of liked it. It's going to be a little annoying to edit, but you know. I'm lovely. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.